All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.
Welcome to Season 3 of All Things Motoring. We have planned bigger and better for you, our viewers. Our team is expanding. Michael and Gugu are now joined by Ernest Page, who, if not already, will become a household name to the All Things Motoring fans. Coming up this week on All Things Motoring, we head down to E-Prix in Cape Town to chat to drivers, their teams, and some local celebrities to learn a bit more about Formula E and see how well our country does at hosting a world-class street race.
The aim is to start Season 3 with a pop and a bang, and the fireworks are on the left of us. The incredible series that is Formula E, coming to Cape Town for the first time, coming to Africa for the first time. Absolutely. All credit to the FIA for organising this incredible event. What do you think we've got in store today?
We've got a lot in store today. So we're in Cape Town for the Formula E, and we don't know very much about the Formula E, and maybe you don't either. So today is all about learning and discovering what the Formula E is all about. Who are we talking to today?
So we've got a couple of things in store. A little bit about Formula E. This is Season 9, Generation 3 cars. We've got two incredible interviews lined up. One is with ABB, the head sponsor of the series, and the people responsible for keeping the series charged. Right. It's not Eskom that's keeping this charged, it's ABB. And then we're also speaking to the race team that is Maserati. Personally, I'm super excited. Yourself?
Super excited. It's going to be a jam-packed day, and tag along with us, learn, discover, and this is the first of this in this country, in the continent. So let's go do this, my friend.
Now, you say the first on the continent, absolutely. I mentioned this is an FIA sanctioned event. FIA is the international governing body.
It is.
My personal feeling, this is one tier below Formula One. In my opinion, this is a precursor for Formula One. What do you think?
I completely agree. So the infrastructure here is world class. From the grandstands to the circuits itself. I mean, the only other street circuit that I know of is Monaco, right?
Correct.
So I think we're getting there. F1 is coming and we're getting there.
When you talk about a race circuit, by definition, a race circuit is a permanent facility. You think of Monza, you think of Hockenheim, you think of Silverstone, internationally recognized, well-known circuits. But probably the most well-known circuit is Monaco. Now, Monaco is not a circuit. It's a principality.
The most well-known street circuit.
Absolutely. They set it up for the weekend. We're in the city of Cape Town, in the middle of the city. The circuit behind us is normal roads that have been closed off, that are being used. How is the infrastructure that they put together here?
No, it's stunning. It's world class, and it's fitting for such an event. And I think, like you said, we're a tier below F1. After this, we probably should get the F1 coming to our country.
City of Cape Town, FIA, all the organisers, hats off to you, and may this be the start of great things for the beautiful country that is South Africa. Follow us, we've got some great stuff in store for you. Gugu, the sign behind us says it all.
I think it does, right?
Get ready for the best. James, lovely to have you in South Africa, Cape Town. Maserati, this is your first season back in motorsport after 60 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and what an amazing place to come motor racing. I think for Maserati, MSG Racing, and for us to be here in Formula E, it's a huge step for Maserati to be in electric motorsports. Pioneering technology going on here is something that we're very passionate about. And with the Maserati Folgore range coming, it's something we're all very excited for.
Now, when you think of Maserati, I mentioned you've got a proud history in motorsport. I don't think there's too many Formula One people who don't know the name Juan Manuel Fangio. He won his 5th world title in 1957, driving a Maserati 250F. That was 66 years ago. Formula E, great entry point. What is the mission for Maserati in Formula E?
Well, the mission is to learn, to bring all the knowledge that we can to Maserati, to there's really a direct transfer of the knowledge that you can acquire in Formula E for your road cars, for EVs.
Sure.
The software and all these things like that is so transferable, and the rate of learning is still very high in EV technology, and that's why we're here.
Now, one of the things about motorsport, you always focus on the drivers. Max and Eduardo, obviously the focus of the team. What goes into putting this together behind the scenes? You're here on a Saturday, but you didn't arrive yesterday. What goes into arriving in South Africa?
No, sure. So to give you a quick background just for this race preparation, a week ago we were in the simulator. We were there driving for 4 days. We had Max and Edo in the factory. We were working out all the small details, all the intricate details of this amazing circuit, what we were going to need from our car in terms of characteristics, how the drivers were going to need to drive, and then how to manage the energy. We have 42 kilowatts available during the race. To manage that energy over the laps is very, very delicate process, and there's many different ways of doing it. So there's a huge preparation back at the factory in Monte Carlo. We managed to get all of that done pretty well. We arrived here, I think we're in good stead.
Sure.
We then went on a beautiful hike with Edo. Here, really beautiful one. When we first arrived, we did a little bit of exercise when we arrived. The guys in good spirits. We had a nice team dinner as well.
Yeah.
Came here, built up the garage. The guys built the cars together, having come out of the flight cases. Huge amount of work from the heroes, the real heroes here at the mechanics.
For sure.
And then we had our first track action yesterday, and here we are, Saturday morning, getting ready for qualifying.
Now, you talk about the factory. 2 questions. How many people back at the factory? How many people at the race team present at each race?
So present at each race we have 33.
33.
33 people here, yeah, from Maserati. And then back in the factory, I think we're now about total of 38.
Wow.
So we have quite a lot of people just dedicated to running these 2 cars in the Formula E World Championship.
Now, you spoke about the simulator. Obviously, street circuit, first time here. The simulator that they give you, how accurate is that compared to what you find on the ground? Is that 100% accurate, or are there little nuances that are different?
It's incredibly accurate. We've been very impressed, especially with this event. There's some bumps that we feel are a little bit different. We have a little bit more grit here today than we found in the simulator last week. But in terms of the layout of the circuit, everything like this, you're talking about very, very small differences, like half a meter maybe for a wall or something like this. So you've got really a good preparation in place.
Now, I've always laughed when an interviewer said your expectations for the race, are you wanting to win? That's obvious. But Eduardo in particular has been doing very well in free practice. What are the expectations for the race realistically?
Eduardo's been on fire. I mean, he was fastest yesterday. Yeah. He was second fastest this morning. I think, he's carrying a lot of confidence from this weekend. We've been making good progress throughout the season, even though the results haven't really shown that. And I think we're in a good position to get a good result here.
Now, as a South African, you're in the city of Cape Town. You can easily have 4 seasons in one day. If it rains this afternoon, what happens? Or when it rains this afternoon, what happens?
When, I hope I don't know, it'll be very interesting. It'll certainly be very entertaining for the fans. We haven't had much opportunity to drive these cars in the wet. So I think you'll find, it will be a massive, massive challenge, especially on this very tricky, challenging layout that we have here in Cape Town. A lot of high-speed corners. It would make it a huge, huge, huge challenge for the drivers.
One of the things that intrigues me, and I think the fans will notice it on TV, when you think of Formula One or any single-seater racing, the tyres are very wide. In Formula E, the tyres are relatively narrow. In the rain, will that pose a problem?
Not really. I mean, we race with all-weather tyres, so our tyres in Formula E are in a unique position where we use the same tyres if it's dry, sunny, raining, whatever 4 seasons we get here in Cape Town, we should be prepared. The car's ready, so it's more about the small settings inside the car, the brake bias, how much torque you're going to request from each axle. So small software details, I would say, more that make the difference.
So on the technical side, you're speaking about a lot of nuances there. Are there so many things that you can change on the setup of the car? Front to rear, left to right? What are the nuances that you can share with our viewers?
So you have the basic mechanical setup of the car, where you've got the difference between your camber on your wheels, you've got your suspension geometry, you've got your springs and your dampers, so you've got your mechanical side. But what's really amazing in Formula E is the software side. When you brake with the FPK, the front motor generator unit we have in the front, you can decide how much torque is requested from the front versus the rear.
Wow.
And that can be a variable going through the corner. So if you've got a corner where you brake and you turn in, you can have it to have more front braking at the beginning of the braking, and then as you bleed off the brake pedal, it goes more to the rear. This is something that each team can do uniquely, and there's this is a small example. We have a lot of other software inside the car that's very complicated. The drivers work with the engineers to make sure that they have every tiny little detail the way that they want it.
Now, if I spoke to the drivers, they'll tell me totally different. They'll tell me the difference is them. Am I right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, our drivers, they're amazing, but yeah, they will, you know, if the result's good, it's them. If the result's bad, it's us. But then from the team's perspective, if the result's good, it's us. And if it's bad, it's them. So,
James, thank you for talking to us. I hope the result is good. A 1-2 for Maserati, and look forward to interviewing you afterwards.
I look forward to that. Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.
Today. At All Things Motoring, we wear our heart on our sleeve and proudly display this. Gugu, I've just had the pleasure of speaking to James Rossiter, team principal of Maserati Racing. There's not a doubt in my mind that they are going to win the race today. But what is so crystal clear, you are dealing with people on a level that I respectfully say in South Africa we are not used to. You walking around, looking at the action in the pit lane, what is your feeling?
So you mean we could learn a thing or two from these guys?
We could learn three or four things.
3 or 4 things, not just a thing or two. How was that interview? Because it looked like power.
So what for me is incredible is in racing, what you see is only a minuscule part of what happened. He explained to me a week ago, these guys were at the factory in Monaco working hard. They were in a simulator, because remember, this is a new circuit, never been driven. So I asked him about the simulator. He said the simulator was 100% accurate.
Really?
Incredible. But now we're speaking about South Africans. Around us, our viewers will see some incredible names. Sebastian Buemi, John-Eric Verne. If I say to you the two of those names, what have they got in common? What are they famous for?
Were they not in F1?
They were in F1. They made their debut at the Toro Rosso team. The Toro Rosso team, now known as AlphaTauri, is owned by Red Bull Racing, but they were both teammates to Max Verstappen. Then you got Stoffel van Doorn, but most importantly, we're proudly South African.
Of course.
Who are we looking at?
Kelvin van der Linde. He's racing here as well.
Absolutely. Kelvin, do us proud.
Yeah, it's great to be here in Cape Town. Can't really wait to get going. The hype and the build-up has been amazing. So from that perspective, it's been a busy week leading up to the race now, and just looking forward to getting in the car. I think that's probably going to be the most peaceful part of the weekend, where I just have, let's say, me in the car and no distractions. So proud moments. Can't wait to feel the crowd and feel the energy from everyone around. It's going to be a special moment. I hope we've got some youngsters coming out to watch, seeing that it's possible as a South African to race in a world championship. And my goals with this whole thing is to inspire the younger generation, to reignite that passion for motorsport, and hopefully have a couple more youngsters in the future coming to race against us.
I think I must be the only person that's walked up to Derek Watson, asked to be interviewed on Carte Blanche. Every time somebody's been interviewed on Carte Blanche, they've done something wrong. Derek, obviously lovely to see you here. First Formula E race in Africa, in the beautiful city of Cape Town. What is your initial impressions?
Well, my initial impressions have changed. I did think it was a bit of a scalextric sport, you know. But it's just grown on me on the 3 days that I've been here.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is the 9th season of Formula E. There's no question that the brand is starting to grow. The sound of the cars I found mesmerizing. I thought they were going to be silent and not noisy at all. They've got a unique sound.
It's like, I guess it's like the wines of the Cape, the wine of the car.
Of course.
Yeah, you grow used to it, and you actually get to like it. It's crazy. Different sport, but looking at the circuit, I've just got such respect for these drivers because it is tight. You think of a normal Formula One track, they can see the corners coming up. Yeah, I went for a hot lap this morning.
Incredible.
And these corners are just there. And of course, yesterday there was quite a bad accident. And I admire these guys. I'm loving getting to know a bit about the technology. I'm not an expert, but the whole regeneration of power and how these guys have to have such skills of energy conservation
But you spoke about the event. So the team manager, James, I spoke to his colleague Giovanni. His first time in South Africa. His words to me were, and that is genuinely on air, that he's going to speak to the FIA that they have to have this event as a regular. Their fifth race of the season, his first time here, he loves the race.
Well, Ian Banner assures me they've signed up for 5 years.
That is fantastic.
And that will help pay off the infrastructure.
If it is 5 years to go, then you and me, we've got to get into a car.
Yeah.
Well, what do we call it? Team what?
Well, I'd have to lose a few Ks, but I think I'd have to sort of shorten quite a lot. I think you've got a way to go as well.
So don't you think for an electric team, Team Watts is a brilliant name?
I like that.
Lovely. Derek, we appreciate the opportunity to speak to you.
It's been incredible, and this whole event is just so exciting to be at. It's new, and it's a new age. And I guess at one stage we're going to have to get over the raw and
For sure.
enjoy the wine of the Cape.
So for followers of the show, there's not a person that doesn't know that the legend that is the three-time Formula One world champion Nelson Piquet is my all-time hero. Today I've got the absolute pleasure of speaking to another Nelson Piquet, his son. Nelson, thanks for taking the time. I think it's fair to say you can see that the family is my hero. Yourself, tell us a little bit about your involvement in Formula E, because you've got a very special involvement. First season winner, the champion.
Yeah, I mean, apart from winning the first season, at the moment I'm just doing a bit of commentary over here. They asked me to do the whole season, but obviously I have a lot of races in my schedule. So coming to a couple of races, the ones that I managed to come, and yeah, just a bit of fun to travel around and see new places and comment a little bit about what's going on.
So a little bit about Nelson. I had the pleasure of going to Australia in March 2008 to witness Nelson's debut in Melbourne. In the season, German Grand Prix, on the podium, very close to victory. What is the big difference between Formula One and Formula E? Obviously, two totally different series, but for our viewers, what is the big difference?
Economically, it's much bigger, you know, a lot of manufacturers there. Formula E is a 100% electric series. Races only street tracks, yeah, it's a much smaller world, much different. I think the level of drivers over here are very high. Don't get me wrong, but you know, in terms of event, obviously Formula One, especially the last 5 years, they've grown a lot.
Now, as a driver involved in both series, people often think it's always about the car. Is it fair to say in both series the driver does make a difference?
No, Formula E obviously the driver makes much more difference. The cars are much more similar in Formula E than Formula One. Formula One, you build your own car. Every team builds 100% of the car. In Formula E, you have probably 80% of the cars the same. The batteries are the same. The front suspension, the monocoque, aerodynamics are all the same. The only thing that changes team to team is the rear powertrain and the rear suspension. So it does make a difference, obviously, but the gaps are much smaller than Formula One.
Now, visiting South Africa, you said you've been here before, been to Durban. Your impression of Cape Town as a venue compared to the other venues you traveled to?
I mean, I've never been here. The city's beautiful. It's a shame that I'm sleeping on only one night here because I have to be in Spain in about 2 days for testing, so I have to rush out of here when the race is finished. But it's the track is probably the best track Formula E has been in terms of speed, and obviously it's one of the toughest tracks that Formula E has faced until now. So yeah, would have been an amazing track to race on. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting race soon for us to see, because it's a track you need a bit of balls over here to have the confidence to be able to be fast.
So Nelson, on behalf of our viewers, thank you for taking the time to speak to us, and wishing you the very best.
Take care, have fun. See you soon.
We're back again at the Maserati stand, and I'm chatting to Giovanni. Giovanni, how are you?
Good, how are you? Nice
Good,
to see
thank you. Thanks for chatting.
Absolutely.
So you are the head of Maserati Corsa, right? How has it been? I mean, you flew into the country first time?
Yes, my first time in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to be here. I love it here.
How did you find it?
I found it to be a blend of so many different things, which is why it's such a surprising. When you land, you get off the airplane, you come here. I love the mix of culture. And
different cultures?
Absolutely different cultures. So for me, the first time, I'm very excited. I wish I was staying longer, actually.
You and I were chatting, actually, and you were talking about the cuisine and cooking and all of that stuff. Obviously, you head of Corsa, but you're also a cook. How have you found the cuisine here?
So far, it's been delicious.
Yeah?
One of the things I like to do is I like to go to supermarkets, grocery stores, find the different ingredients, talk to local people about what they like to eat, and I like to bring that back to my own country, which is
something up.
Absolutely. But everything's been fantastic. The scenery, and obviously being here on track. As you know, this is Maserati's first time racing in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Maserati is the only Italian automobile company in Formula E.
That's nice.
We have a long, rich history of racing on different tracks, so it's great to be part of Formula E. Great to be here.
That's awesome. So, Eduardo had a bit of an incident now. Do you guys think you're going to get the car ready and back on track?
I think that's what makes this team so resilient. We're really working hard to make sure that we get him back on track. That would be fantastic. That would be a great achievement. Obviously, the first priority is that he's okay. So that we're thankful for that. And now all the engineers, the entire team is working to see if we can get the car back on track. Very excited that Max had an incredible performance all the way to the duels. Now we're starting in second position, a P2. And that is the best start we've had so far this season. So Cape Town for me is going to be very memorable, hopefully, and for a number of different reasons, but very excited.
Are you coming back?
I'm coming back with my family, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Quick one. Where do you plan on taking this, especially with E-Prix, electrical technology? Where do you see this going for a brand like Maserati?
For us to be in Formula E was a natural choice because, as you know, we are entering the electric mobility space. Fulgur is our electric range. Fulgur is the engine that we will use to develop all of our electric cars. We have two big dates in mind. By 2025, our entire range will have an electric version, and by 2030, we're only going to produce electric cars. So for us to be here is a great opportunity to also work on technology transfer, learn as much as we can.
It's a learning curve, yeah?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's what our clients and our customers and our adoring fans expect from Maserati. A high-level luxury automobile, electric automobile, and that's what we are here in this space. We're learning a lot. We want to mix the balance of design and performance, and I think we'll be able to do that.
That is awesome. Giovanni, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
nice
you for
meeting you.
And all the best. Hopefully Eduardo gets back on the track.
Absolutely.
And
it'll be an exciting race.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Coming up next week on All Things Motoring, we bring you even more E-Prix, how things work, take a scoot around the track, plus we get an exclusive one-on-one interview with the winner.
So Gugu, summing up today, qualifying and race same day. Give us the top 10 qualifying order and the top 10 race order for our viewers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Brilliant, that's what I thought. Okay, let's see how good this guy is in reverse order.
You know the story.
That was brilliant, that was nailed.
All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.